Morning, chess humans. We're going back to ICC and Crafty Computer Program, the early machine that was beating humans on ICC, written by the brilliant Dr. Bob Hyatt. He was responsible for all this madness and chaos today with slider bars and things. Crafty was a monster. And here's the game for verification, video verification in ICC Chinako, that's me, FM, versus Crafty 2974. I'm 2538. And we have a little 5-minute game here. And let's get into it. So we had e4 and the d6 machine going for the fianchetto. In f4, knight c6. Knight c6, be3, knight f6, knight f3, castles, and now the space. We must take the space. e5. And when it goes knight g4, we're going to tuck this puppy back to g1, and then we're going to expand. We're going to play h3, and then when it goes to h6, we're going to play g4 and lock this guy out of the game on the sidelines. Can't have him re-entering the fray on f5. So he came in, we dipped out, and a6. What's the idea? Computer understands I'm going to expand on the king side, wants to fianchetto in the ghetto. And also, if I'm going to open my king side, maybe I'm going queen side, and already the pawn avalanche is coming. Something like this. h3, knight h6, g4. And I noticed that this knight is kind of stranded on h6, isn't it? That if I can go be3, queen d2, and f5, does it have anywhere to go? I didn't see a place. So it went here, and this is nice, be3, e6, queen d2, execute the plan. Things were looking pretty groovy here, but it is a computer, and so I was a little bamboozled. We had bb7 and bishop g2. This is all working out perfectly. Knight a5 with an obvious threat to fork my key piece, and that we can't allow that. And c5, now striking the center. Perhaps here d5 is a good move. d5 to close the diagonal. Of course, you can't take on e5 because fe, and then, like we said, the knight is stranded on h6. d5, maybe closing the diagonal, right? A little bit. But I went for f5 anyway, and the Eureka idea is that when he takes this, and I take, and he takes my knight, I can't simply move to e3. And here, I think computer had a tactic that I may have overlooked, which is strange to say. It's strange to say. How could this be? Bishop takes f3, right? Threatening queen h4. So maybe computer A was thinking f6, or B, bishop g5. Maybe I have bishop g5 intermezzo, thinking about it now. And then when the queen moves away, I can recapture on f3, and perhaps I'm okay. In other news, bishop g5, is bishop h6 a thing? Maybe bishop h6 is a thing. And perhaps I'm worse. I take on d8, e3's hanging. Take on f3. No, something ain't right. I think bishop f3 perhaps. But computer did not see that. They had problems, glitches in their tactics in those days. There were a couple of ways to skin the computers. You could take space. They were not good against the space. Like King's Indian attack and pawn avalanche on king side, and then build the pieces, throw them, behind the pawns. And then computers lost a lot of games like that then. They would sort of destroy themselves. Hopefully, history repeats itself. We will. The machine took this. And I think in the horizon, it thought that it will take here and that I cannot go knight g5 because I lose to queen d2 check, right? The knight on g5 blocks my queen from defending d2 square, then it takes g2 and I lose. Right? Queen takes g2, king has to go back, queen e1, I'm definitely getting mated. So I must play rook d1 to stop this queen d2 business. And I assumed queen f6 was coming. But the machine played queen e7, thinking that knight g5 it will play f6. But queen e7 is a tactical miss. Very strange for a computer, no? Queen e7. What's the move? You have a big shot here. Well, it's to draw the queen away from the f6 square to play f6. Very simple. How computer missed this? The problem is that now on queen f6, I have knight g5 and threatening mate on h7. At queen g7, I take queen on g7, and then king takes, bishop b7, knight b7, and knight takes e6. Pawn on f7 is pinned. King on g7, and need a rook on f8. Very bad news. But in those days, the machines, they kind of like to, I don't know, self-implode, right? Check it out. So now we went knight g5, and here it just decided to take the knight. Pretty standard. It would like go for the max material, and then f6, and we just get a quick mate. But this was kind of instructive game. I think the knight c6. I think modern ways to get c5 faster. Although it seems to be all right. Like everything kind of worked out if it had played correctly. But yeah, it was nice. We identified the loose piece. We took some space. I think where I may have had a little lemony moment was when I didn't go d5. But I'm not sure about all the tactics, and I never do these things with machines because. And I decided not to go with arrows because you have to use your imagination at the board. You don't have anybody to draw you arrows there. And the computer analysis is fun, and it gives you a dose of reality in a cold shower, but also doesn't inspire you to stretch your mind. So we'll just continue like this. I hope you enjoyed this game, and have a great day, everyone.